Hey, Desert Rider here. Welcome to another edition of the Adventures of Desert Rider. Today I am in the northeast corner of the Amargosa Desert where you can meet me at the fountain. Okay, so the town of Carrara was built specifically for the marble quarry. Otherwise, there wouldn't even be a town here. We wouldn't be standing at the fountain here. There's not much left. Now, all right, looking towards Beatty, looking at the Bullfrog mine, straight ahead, and I'll zoom in. Right up there is where the Bullfrog mine is, and that's rhyolite. That's how close it is to rhyolite. Now, the fountain here was put in using a 9-mile pipeline right over from Gold Center, which is right there by rhyolite. They said that the water pressure here allowed the fountain to go about 6 feet above ground when it got here. That supplied water for the entire town. Up behind me is where the original quarries are. On to the left, my right, is the original quarry, and mostly came out gray. And then that was abandoned because of fractures, and a few years later they discovered the marble on the other side of the little canyon there, which is all white marble. And that's where the Carrara Marble Company Incorporated first came into being and started production. This whole town is a marble town created specifically for Carrara Marble Company. Now, up that canyon there is about 3.5 miles is where that quarry is at. So we're on our way up to the Carrara quarry. So we're going to take a look at both the very first quarry and then the production quarry when the town was built. This little piece here is the only railroad tie that I've found on the whole railroad thing. Part of the railroad, another one of the storm bridges, and obviously this whole canyon is washed. Alright, let's take a look at the quarry now. This is pretty big. I'm saying it's probably 50 feet to the top. We're probably looking at 30 feet across, side to side. And of course you can't really tell how big those blocks are until you take this kind of perspective. Now, remember, those blocks are at least 3 to 5 feet thick, maybe even 6 feet thick, to put that into perspective. Well, you could certainly see in that back, that big old jagged line through that is why they stopped going farther back. And then if you look over on this side, see how all the fractures are in that wall. That is the reason why they quit this quarry. Now, that's not to say that there's not good marble here still. When you look around, like I showed you that other picture up there of that marble, there's got to be some good stuff in there somewhere. Eventually, somebody's going to come back here and take a look at this and probably start harvesting marble again. All right, here I am on the crane platform. You can kind of see there's the quarry right there. And as you can see, here's a lot of waste. And you can probably see what the problem was with this quarry is they started hauling blocks out and they just kept breaking. Just fracturing up, and that was the reason why they stopped production. There's the old, or the original quarry right there. So let me talk about the train. So there was a track that went straight up there. That's why that road is so straight and narrow. That train track had a bubble in the middle, right in the middle, where it had two pieces of track side by side. Now, the deal was that these flat railroad cars there was a cable that attached the two with a pulley and braking system up at the top. That's what I showed you earlier. When you put the weight on the one and you released it, centrifugal force, gravity, pulled it down the mountain and pulled the empty car to the top. Now, when it got down here, they started the process of polishing. So they unload it, bring it into this manufacturing site here, which has been graffitied over, and polish it up. So break off all the parts that had been drill marks, clean up the slabs, the blocks, excuse me, before they were shipped down to the LA area. Now, what's interesting, why they built it right here is, right along here, where probably between us and the highway, was the Vegas to Tonopah rail spur. Now that spur came off of the Salt Lake City to Los Angeles spur. So once the marble got to Vegas, it either went north to Salt Lake City or it went south to Los Angeles. So here we are looking at the south towards the Armagosa Desert. Right over there is Ecolabs, and on the other side of that is Big Dune. I'm looking across the desert here. So in the end, like most mining towns, when the product diminishes, the town disappears. American Carrara Marble Company closed down in 1917 due to the fracturing problem. With all that, and this is all that's left here in the Armagosa Desert. Just some ruins, some foundations, the fountain, a little bit of the mill down there where I'm parked alongside the highway, and that's it. There's some remnants of some block down there, and that's about it for the town of Carrara. There's just not anything around here anymore. So a lot to shout out to westernmininghistory.com for providing all the information on Carrara, Nevada. See you soon.